Hey guys, if you're watching this video, you're probably considering purchasing a home.
Buying a house can be the worst decision that you'll ever make in your entire life.
Is it worth it? What I'm about to tell you only applies to those that live within the United States. If you do not live in the United States,
click away.
And if you do, then you will definitely want to stick around and hear what I have to say. So first of all, you may have the question about who I am. I am a homeowner in one of the most expensive areas in the country, and I am also a landlord. I own property in San Diego that I rent out. I also have extensive knowledge in taxes because I used to volunteer for the IRS, not H&R Block, Liberty Tax, or those other for-profit tax preparation services. I was trained by the IRS and I worked for them for a couple of years.
Legit.
Sorry you're not going to be able to leave a comment in this video. I don't want a million people sending me messages asking them for tax advice. So that is who I am. So let's get started.
So now that I got that out of the way, there's a misconception that owning a house is the American dream.
Yeah, it's more like a freaking nightmare.
So let me give you some cold hard facts about owning a house. So what I'm going to do is go through a top 7 list that was provided by Realtor magazine and debunk some of the myths that have been put out about how great it is to own a house. So number 1, the tax benefits. So they say that the U.S. tax code lets you deduct the taxes that you pay on your mortgage and your property taxes and some of the costs involved in buying a home. That is correct, that you may be able to deduct the mortgage, interest, property taxes. However, you can only deduct the amount that exceeds your standard deduction.
What?
So if your mortgage interest payments is greater than your standard deduction, well, then good for you. Most of us are not in that situation. But for the rest of us, our mortgage interest and city taxes and things like that is going to be less than the standard deduction, unfortunately, which means you can't deduct anything.
And depending on the current tax law, you can get tax credit for energy savings upgrades that you do to your house. So if you plan on doing energy saving upgrades to your house, you're going to need to get a permit through the city. So what happens when you get a permit? The property value of your property goes up. So what happens when the property value goes up? Your taxes, your property taxes also go up. So your home insurance can go up as well. So basically you're shooting yourself in the foot. So what happens if you don't get a permit? You can face stiff penalties from the city.
Oh, no.
So the question is, should you even do the upgrades to your house? And the answer is yes, absolutely. It's just going to cost you a lot of money.
Number 2, appreciation. So historically, real estate values have gone up in value over the years. But remember, because the value of your home goes up, the value of all the homes also go up. So just because the value of your house goes up doesn't mean that when you sell your house and move out that you're going to find a super cheap house and you're going to make all this money. No, everything has gone up in value as well.
You are not going to be able to upgrade from a townhouse to a mansion after 15 years of ownership.
Unless if you move from a big city to a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere. Which leads me to the next point.
Number 3, equity. Money that you pay into your mortgage is equity and wealth that you're building into your home. Whereas if you are paying rent, that is money that you're never going to see again. When you rent, there are a lot of things that you don't have to pay for. If you're renting, you don't even have to pay property taxes. You don't have to pay home insurance, repairs, HOA fees, pest control, security. You don't have to put up cameras. You don't have to put a fence around your house. And in some apartments, you don't even have to pay for water and trash. That is money that homeowners are never going to see again. And if I compare my mortgage to what I was paying when I was renting, I am paying a lot more owning a house.
And a lot of it has to do with the ridiculous amount of money I'm spending fixing it.
Number 4, savings. Building equity in your home is a ready-made savings plan. I wish I was saving all that money, but I'm spending it all fixing my house. Number 5, predictability. Unlike rent, your fixed rate mortgage payments don't rise over the years, so your housing costs may actually decline as you own your home for longer. Yeah, well, it may be true that your fixed rate mortgage doesn't go up, but what's not predictable is what's going to break next. Upcoming major expenses are a huge stressor. Most of the homes in metropolitan areas are fixer-uppers. So another thing that people don't account for is that there's always new home technology trends, that you're always going to be spending money doing upgrades to your house. So just because you're done paying off your house or whatever doesn't mean that you're going to stop spending your money, because there's always going to be something new, like some kind like LED lighting or some fancy backsplash or something like that.
So get this, the cost of labor and construction materials go up with inflation every year. So about 4 to 5 years ago, I had this bathroom remodeled and it only cost $15,000 to do it. So if I had waited for this year, the cost would have been double. It would have been $30,000. So currently I'm getting my kitchen remodeled, and this year it is costing me $50,000 to do it. So if I had done it in the past when I first bought the house, it would have costed about $20,000 to $25,000. So yeah, I lost out on a ton of money just by waiting.
Number 6, freedom. The home is yours. You can decorate it however you want. You can choose the type of upgrades that you want to do, new amenities that appeal to your lifestyle. In essence, this is a true statement, but what a lot of people don't think about is that a house really robs you of your time. So for example, I have to water the front and the back of my lawn every 3 days or so, and it takes about an hour to do all of that. That takes up a lot of time.
So why don't I install a sprinkler system? Because I'm spending all my money
Fixing my house.
So if you're renting, you have to spend time doing yard work.
Another thing that no one ever talks about is holidays. When I was renting, I didn't have to spend hardly any money doing holiday decorations. If you own a house, you're pretty much guaranteed to receive trick-or-treaters. So you're going to need to buy bags of candy. There are a lot of extra expenses such as yard decorations and things like that I've never accounted for. And when you start decorating, it becomes an obsession. And then the next thing you know, you're spending hundreds upon hundreds of dollars decorating for the holidays. But of course, decorating for the holidays is totally optional. And if you don't do it, then I totally get it. You're broke. I'm not going to judge you. Number 7, stability. So staying in one area for a long time, you and your family the opportunity to build long-lasting relationships within the community. It also offers children the opportunity for educational and social continuity. This is true, but you can also build stability when you're renting as well. Apartment dwellers don't move as much as you would think. And if you choose to rent, you have the ability to move to a place that has schools that are rated 10 out of 10. Try doing that, buying a house. It's almost impossible. The truth is that owning a home may not be a wise investment choice for you. Homes are money pits. There's a ton of things to consider. If you're going to buy a home, you're going to pay a lot of money to maintain it. Make sure you have a lot of disposable income. You're going to be putting down roots. Do your research. Make sure that's a place that you really want to stay. Look at your situation too. Are you single? Are you married? Is your marriage strong? Because divorce happens. And if you get a divorce, then someone's going to take the house. So just make sure that you're in a good situation. And then another thing to think about is once you pay off your house, do you really own it? Think about it. Stop paying your property taxes and see what happens. It's just like paying rent for the rest of your life. The government actually owns it. Okay, so it wraps it up for this episode. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.